Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 6th episode of High School Fleet, or High Footy. So, in the last episode, we got some focus finally on the Musashi, and we basically had a instructorship make contact with him, and the response was to shoot at them, essentially. And the Musashi is not a pushover, that's a battleship, and the other ships learned that pretty quickly. They actually eventually had Harikaze show up as well, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. The very beginning of the episode, we had essentially a summer beach party kind of thing, except on the ship instead of a beach for obvious reasons. But it was still very nice. The girls definitely deserve that after everything they've been through. And Shima, while this was happening, was getting questioned, interrogated about the incident of, shooting them, which they did not seem to appreciate one bit. And Furusho, I want to say her name is, the one instructor of the Sarushima that started this whole thing, really. She awoke and apparently remembers giving the orders to attack the Harikaze, but can't understand why. So, my running theory is the hamster is responsible for it. Like the hamster is carrying some kind of weird virus or something that's spreading to various people. And that's what's the cause of this. Because we obviously saw Shima with the hamster on the ship. Like, it was even in her pocket when she went overboard. That hilarious scene. And eventually, like I said, the Harikaze was brought in to help deal with the Musashi. And Misaki, in all her wisdom, decided to get onto a little speedboat and go towards it to try to talk to Mocha. And she technically did get a bit of a glimpse at Mocha and then crashed, unfortunately. I figured the same thing that happened to Furusho. I really hope I'm not getting that name wrong. Is what happened to Mocha, but it seemed like it was more like a mutiny, like from her response, like what happened with Michan on her ship. I don't know. There's still a lot of questions up in the air. I'm not sure what anything is. Before I get into it, I should preface this by saying I am really tired right now, so if this reaction is worse than usual, that's my excuse. So, anyway, let's get into it. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Man, the Musashi is no joke. Oh yeah, we also saw a little glimpse of that as well. That's good. In other words, there's still a big problem. Man, this is so unlucky for them. A lot. Yeah, Michan's ship, I take it. So many causes. I really hope I'm not meant to keep track of all this. Oh, 3 months. So things are not looking good. So yeah, they have a lot of ships, like, wow. And the Musashi is well stocked, well fueled, as opposed to the Harikaze. So they don't really have much to send up against it, which is a bit of a problem. Hopefully, get some more answers in this episode. Maybe they'll get the hamster to talk, interrogate him, get him to explain what's going on. You really don't want to be there. She did see what happened to Mi-chan, right? She was the one that rescued her after all. I know, right? The same girl that left her ship to go get toilet paper. I wouldn't go that far, but you definitely have room to improve. Did you catch a cold? Or maybe Mocha just made her all wet. One of the two. It's easy to say that after she made it back. The ocean. She's like, being captain's not easy. And that hamster up to no good. I figured as much. Not in this case. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're not in a lake. You would have to have gotten really lost for that to happen. Yeah, let's call it sweat. Pretty sure the captain can bathe when she wants to. Yeah, she does kind of need it, the bath. It's kind of hard not to stand there staring, to be fair. I know I would. Probably not. Yeah, as opposed to the Harakaze. Wow, that phrasing with the visuals. Uh, oh, wow. Guess I'll get the job done. It's probably for the best, really. And they lost badly. Over the submarine. uh, Man, she has such a hard-on for Shiro. And I just made the connection too. Her nickname is Shiro, her nickname is Kuro. Of course they would go together. What else is new? I think everybody is. Maybe for slightly different reasons. That's the big question, isn't it? Man, she is so harsh. I'm sure she's fighting her own battles as well. We just don't get to see it from her perspective. It'd be nice if we could. And then they mutinied on her. Yeah, you should try to be your best not to let your anxiety show if you are in a position of power like that. Yeah, I brought an enemy aboard her ship. Yeah, we also got a little bit of Rin backstory last episode. And she really wants Shiro to be captain. Not exactly subtle about that. Is she still inspecting the hamster? Cell phone. It's like somebody just texting in a ship a few yards away. Well, more than a few, but... Oh. Oh, shit, that face. I guess she's about to dissect it. I'm getting out of here. Or going for the attack. One of the two. I caught him again. And Shiro didn't think the cat would be useful. Yeah, it's a hamster. No, it's not, but that's what I've been calling it. Only slightly different. So I was pretty much on the money for that, but that... Yeah. That cat. Yeah. Man, she is always so optimistic. Just keep promoting the cat. That's not very specific. Oh, mines. That's not good. As if they didn't have enough to worry about. And that was really bright. That's some fog. I know, right? That's not a good combination at all. I wouldn't. I would back up if I were you. Yeah, that's... Yeah, one false move and that would not end well. Natto. That would be my reaction as well. Please do. I gotta just keep showing her. Man, she's so excited about explaining this. Meanwhile, the real conflict over there. Yeah, now you're speaking her language. It's not impossible, but ill-advised. That's why we'll send Isoroku. That does sound pretty convenient. She's not a big fan. I don't blame you for as far as Natto goes. Like sausages. That should be good. Somehow I don't think this is going to end very well. I have some Minesweeping experience, just, with the old school video game version. It's pretty much the same thing, though. This is her day. That looks like so much fun. And they're having fun in their own way. That would be a bit confusing. I know, the nerve of them. Sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an evil plot. I suppose that's another explanation. There's really not. But that's why we have works of fiction. Yeah, bloomers. Bloomers really should wear bloomers. It really does look like a seal. That thing looks so cool and so much fun. I think it's safe to say she hit one. The captain really shouldn't be doing all these dangerous things, to be fair. Man, Rin's really stepping up here. Everyone's a little bit surprised. That in-sync nod. I like I just said that in English. We're all alone now. And you really shouldn't be looking away. Neither does Misaki, apparently. Well, it almost does sound like she's coming on to her. A little bit of an explosion, that's fine. But yeah, I figured they'd be fine. Yeah, safety devices and all that. They're on their way, calm down. Not sure why she was panicking. What else could it possibly be but a rescue party? I'm alive too, just so you know. So how did this turn out? Sauerkraut. Yeah. She will not accept these cheap imitations. Schnitzel. Apparently she doesn't like it thick. Then it's not really much of German food. Them, of course. Ramen Ram. Maybe next time. Meanwhile, she's happy. Well, hamburgers are usually more associated with America. Huh. I kinda thought we would get more Musashi in the episode. But yeah, I definitely get where Shiro's coming from, because Misaki just keeps abandoning the ship despite the fact that she's a captain and, as she put it, should always be on deck. And yet she goes helping shopping for toilet paper. She goes personally for the rescue parties. She goes alone to try to confront a Yamato-class battleship. That one was probably the stupidest of all of them, to be fair. But there is something to be said about, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Not that that's really Misaki's main motivation, mind you. She just cares a lot for her crew members, to the point where she gets a bit too too narrow focused. She just focuses on who's in the most danger or in the most need at the moment, not taking into consideration that she has an entire ship full of people who, they need her guidance for them. Hopefully she gets a little bit better at that. The Band-Aid, I guess, a bitter. Oh, wow. Is she a test subject? A little bit dark. And she penetrated her. And injected all of it. Oh, into herself. Then what was the point of holding her like that? Or I guess she was trying to stop her from stopping herself. So that was the 6th episode of Haifuri. And this episode had less Musashi than I was expecting. But we did get some talk of the ship. The Musashi seems to be causing a great deal of trouble for pretty much everyone, really. Aside from whoever's responsible for this whole thing to begin with. Because the Musashi is a Yamato-class battleship. Very well stocked. It's not going down without a fight, let's say that much. And it's stocked with, the top-tier students. So pretty much the polar opposite of the Harekaze just about every way. So, a rough thing to deal with. Anyway, the Harekaze, continuing their adventures, they ran into a bit of a problem. Mines, to be more specific, so they had to play Minesweeper a little bit there. Which they had a pretty good strategy for dealing with it, of course. They even drew the whole seal thing, but unfortunately, they ran into a snag with that as well. But luckily, they had the safety function on it. So there was no serious injuries or anything. And to Shiro's dismay, Misaki wanted to personally go and rescue them. And that seems to be one of the big conflicts between Misaki and Shiro. A big disagreement there about how Misaki should be on the ship at all times, because that's the captain's job, to be on the ship and to guide everybody else. And the captain should have whoever they believe to be the most suited for the task take care of it. Delegating, essentially. So, Misaki definitely has a lot of room to grow as a captain, but, she's still a pretty good captain in some ways, like the fact that she really does care for her crew a lot, to the point of considering them family, like we found out a while ago. And even Shiro kind of came to that line of thinking as well. Mii-chan doesn't seem to care for the Japanese food on board too much. More specifically, he doesn't care for the natto. We had some shots of her attempting to eat that. So the one girl attempted to make some German food that she would like, and she did an okay job with it, but, not great. But two people specifically made something that she really liked, so, Mii-chan, it ended up fine for her. Well, of course, the girl who was responsible for the failures was a bit more upset. We did pretty much get confirmation that the hamster/rat/not-rat/thing is responsible for the craziness, and that is carrying a virus. So, Minami, I believe her name is in the stinger there. She's attempting to make a vaccine of sorts, and decided to test it on herself. They were trying to mislead us, making us think that she was going to use it on the other girl, but no, she used it on herself, so hopefully it doesn't go too bad, because I think she's the only doctor-type person on board, so if they lose her, that's a big loss. So let me know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of my reaction in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode early, you can do that by heading over to my Patreon, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.